What is up, DMV Hoops fans? Welcome into another Believe in DMV Hoops. I'm Matt Moderno. I'm joined here today by Jaden Winston of Manhattan Basketball. Jaden, you're a DMV native. We're happy to have you on. And how's your summer been so far?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me. I appreciate you reaching out.
Of
And my
course.
summer been cool, in the gym, getting ready for a big season ahead.
That's a great answer. That's what the team wants to hear. That's what all fans want to hear. So that's awesome. Before we get too far into it, we're brought to you by Stateside Vodka and their Surfside Hard Iced Teas, hard lemonades, hard half and halves. They're all delicious. And Bet Online. It's your number one source for all your summer sports from MLB, golf, UFC, tennis, boxing, everything you can think of. Get the latest stats, news, and scores available for your favorite teams. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports and player props for all your favorite sports out there. Head to the website today and use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. All right, so just anybody not familiar with your game, you're from Maryland, you're a DMV or your DeMatha alum,
Yeah.
entering your sophomore season at Manhattan as a freshman. You averaged 9 points, 9.3 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2.2 steals, which is awesome. And you played a lot of minutes right away as a freshman. So was that part of the appeal of going to Manhattan in the first place? It's just an opportunity to get out on the floor?
Now, truthfully, that wasn't even supposed to happen.
Okay.
They were telling me I was going to play behind DeJuan Clayton
Mhm.
upon, his transfer papers, stuff like that. So I was looking at a little bit of minutes.
Sure.
But, I just took it. I trusted God. I'm a believer in God, and it felt like a good fit. God was telling me, to take this. I heard him calling, I heard him talking. So that's what it was on the whole thing, getting at Manhattan.
I love that. For anyone who hasn't seen you play, just how would you describe your game?
I would say I'm a leader in all aspects. Like I love leading my team. Unfortunately, last year I didn't lead us to enough victories or enough victories as I would like. But I get out there on defensive end, basically do whatever my coach need me to do. Little things, getting downhill, playing fast. Of course, setting my teammates up. Trying to add, myself, getting my shot involved. That's what I'm working on this summer. But
Mhm.
that's what I would say. Playmaker.
Uh, Playmaker is a word I would have definitely used, both on offense and defense. I think the 2.2 steals kind of really stand out because they're big plays, and there are a couple other ones where you may not get credit for the steal, but you're forcing people to make a bad pass or a bad dribble and helping your teammates get some other stats there as well. Is that something that you kind of put? Some players are more offensive focused, some players are more defensive focused. You seem to have a nice blend of both. Is that something you really try to strive to do?
Growing up, my niche was defense. I had
Mhm.
to I had to get on the court by playing defense. I played with a takeover team that was loaded. We had a lot of great guards, a lot of great players, and
Mhm.
that's what I had to do to get on the court. And when I started playing with different teams and having different roles, I never wanted that to leave my game. Some people become, sign of the best player or have the ball in their hands and they lack on defense. But I always told myself, if I can make the opposing guard's life, trouble, stuff like that, it'll help
Yeah.
me out. They'll get tired at the end of the game. And it's been working for me so far, so I ain't gonna stop now.
I think there's always like an interesting thing in sports where it's good to do the things that you don't like people to do to you. And I feel like no one likes a guard that can pick them up the length of the court, has quick hands, and is going to be like up in them the whole way. And I think you're able to do that, better than a lot of folks are able to. So that's cool to see. And I'm glad that, that's something you're sticking with. Like point of attack defense is something that coaches will always want and always value at any level. So that's awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Is anybody watch or study? Like, are you trying to take notes, a pro guy or another college player that you've kind of like modeled your game after?
Yeah, I watch a lot of players like all over my
Mhm.
age, older, vintage, classic throwback guys, but a lot of Rajon Rondo, Dennis
Mhm.
Schroeder, John Moran, of course. But I watch guards for different things. So I'll watch how certain guard like Trey Young plays in the pick and roll, or how John Moran gets to his floater, or Kyrie's how he changes his pace, gets to his spot. That's what I'm trying to add. But a lot of different guards, like a lot. Shreve Cooper, a lot of
Mhm.
different guards.
That's a good one. Yeah. I was definitely going to ask about the Kyrie one specifically because I feel like one from when I saw you play in high school to some games I watched this year, I feel like your finishing around the basket has gotten better.
Yeah.
Two, you finish in like some creative ways. Like you have a lot of like high degree of difficulty layups with spins and scoops and things like that I think a lot of guys can't make. Is that a Kyrie thing you've tried to model a little bit too? Because he's got like the best finishing package around the hoop, I think.
Yeah, probably somewhere growing up, always just trying it.
Mhm.
I feel like I didn't finish as well as I could last year. It's definitely something I'm looking to improve. How finishing around the basket, my percentage needs to go up.
Gotcha.
But yeah, definitely growing up, just trying things and sticking at it.
Also, some bigger guys presumably this year in college basketball too, bigger older guys, so a little tougher to figure out what the best way to finish over some of these guys are. Was that an adjustment period for you at all? It's just kind of, hey, what works and what doesn't at this level?
Yeah, I feel like I had that adjustment really, really soon though. Like in
Okay.
practice, I feel like last year, I realized that some of the things I was doing in high school simply weren't going to work, and I might have found myself last year maybe doing that in games sometimes, but I feel like this year I'm gonna keep that in my mind, knowing that I got to finish around the rim better.
It leads me into like my favorite question to ask guys on this podcast is, did playing in the DMV growing up prepare you for college basketball than, playing somewhere else probably would have grown up? Because I feel like the guys you went against night to night are, 4 or 5-star guys. So I got to imagine you've seen everything at this point.
Yeah, that's everything. Growing up in the DMV, that's, we breathe basketball. Just being in the gym with high major guys, the best of the best since I was playing basketball. I feel like that's really helped me today. We kind of have an identity about ourselves in the DMV. Like similar games, a lot of guards you see, small guards you might even notice. But yeah, definitely I can attest some success to that.
What was just year one of being a college basketball player like? I mean, how did you feel about your season? I mean, you mentioned the team success, and I want to get into that a little bit here. But just for you individually, how did it go?
That was a blessing. I feel like my senior year, not having some offers, I found myself in deep and low places, and sometimes I had to like look back and realize like I'm living a blessing, I'm living a dream that I begged God for. So at times, I felt like that. Other times, the success I got down, but all in all, a blessing, and the chances are slim. Not everyone gets to do it, so I always try to remind myself of that.
You guys went 7-23 last year. I'm sure nobody in the program was happy with how that ended up. And one of the themes I've noticed from a lot of DMV guys, there's a lot of them going back to the places they were the year before. And a recurring comment is unfinished business. I feel like that's an especially like DMV mindset of like, nah, we don't run from this if we kind of underachieved. Was that a big driver in the decision to come back for year two?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not a quitter, you know what I'm saying? So just last year, there was no thought in my mind about leaving. I'm not gonna lie, like there's no way I could even feel comfortable with that situation. Like that's not the type of person I am. No knock to people who leave or anything like that, because I know in today's age is different. But me personally, it wouldn't have sit right in my spirit. So that's never really even crossed my mind last year, and I'm definitely ready to revenge that year this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. What can you do specifically to help turn things around for next season, this upcoming season?
Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot last year. Freshman point guard, a lot comes with being a point guard that, some people might not know or might not pay attention to, but little stuff in the game, what I'm saying, key possessions, big possessions, going into the half of four, what I'm saying, keeping leads, all that stuff. And I feel like even in the games we lost, if you paid attention, we was in the games, but my team might have had a breakdown, or maybe I had a breakdown. And, it really turned the tide of the game. So a lot of that I learned last year, I feel like it's going to prepare me for this year. Just having that experience, all those minutes, being able to lead, being able to know, being in certain situations only helps you. So I'm looking forward to that.
I feel like in this era with more player movement, it's harder for point guards maybe now than ever, because so much of what you do isn't just setting yourself up. It's setting everybody else up to be sometimes in spots that they don't even know are the best spots for them, right? Like it's like, hey, this guy, he's actually going to be better off on this side of the floor, or this is what, the play calls for him to do. And you've got to know everybody else's role, but also what they do best. Is that just harder now than ever? I mean, obviously you don't have the baseline for you to compare to from college experience, but is that something you've had to kind of learn and figure out on the go here?
I feel like over the course of my life, I understood that. Like, I come around a lot of good point guards. Like my takeover teams, I don't know if you remember, we all were point guards. Me, Jacoy, Malik, JQ, we all were point guards, and they always stressed us we were smaller, so we got the little things. You know what I'm saying? We have to basically do more, and that's something I accepted at a young age. So I don't look at it like having to know more. I look at it like that's my job. He's a scorer. I want him to focus on scoring. So let me figure out how to get him in the best position. That's how I look at the game, and so I want to help my teammates.
That's awesome. Started 30 games as a freshman, played 35 minutes. How did you feel physically after that? Like you probably weren't playing that many games for that many minutes as a high school player. Was that a tough adjustment as well?
Yeah, that definitely was a big adjustment. I learned that right away. Them quick nights, them back-to-backs. We didn't play any back-to-backs, but Friday, Sunday we played last year.
So quick turnaround.
Yeah, quick turnaround games. Definitely had to start taking better care of my body. Throughout high school, people were always telling me, stretch, take that thing seriously. And when you're a little younger, you might not take it that serious, but we can catch up to you. So playing those minutes, recovery is a big thing, rest is a big thing, diet is a big thing, and mental, the mental capacity. Coach Jones, my high school coach, the one that's there now, not an Old Dominion. He helped me with that last year, 2 years ago, my senior year, just telling me like envision yourself playing well, envision yourself being okay. Even when your body feels like you can't, you got to tap into a different mindset. And I carried that with me since the day he told me. I appreciate him for that for sure.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I think that's another like DMV trait or staple. It's just like, hey, we'll just power through it.
Yeah.
We mentioned the 2.2 steals. As someone myself who has been a terrible defender his entire life as a basketball player, is that just something you had naturally? Is that a feel for the game to be able to know and how to like strip people? Is that naturally quick hands? Like talk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like quick hands. I'm quick. I'm a quick person, so I feel like quick hands. Yeah, but this is kind of funny. No one probably know this, but my older brother. But we used to play 2K. So everybody played 2K growing up, and I used to always just fall in love with steals. Like wanted to always steal the ball. Like steal the ball from him. I used to put my steal on 99 when I created my players, and I feel like that stuck with me, like for some reason. And it's kind of weird saying it out loud because I probably never said it out loud before, but I can see the similarities and I can see how that applies to my game. Just that niche for it. Just looking for steals. Like some coaches might not like it, but I feel like all the time I'm looking for a steal basically every single play.
It shows up, right? I mean, that I think even like I said, when you didn't get steals, it was still, one of those things where like guys, once you get one on somebody, I feel like then they have to think about it for the rest of the game. Do you try to be like aggressive early to kind of plant that seed with them that they're going to have to worry about you like the whole night?
It really depends. Like I know that's kind of might be a funny answer, but it depends who I'm going against. I like watching people's film, so I like to see I like to maybe to wait till they're comfortable, depending on who they are, fill them out. See how fast they are in real life. If I know I can get them, most of the time, like I go into the game knowing like, oh yeah, I can. I know I can get that. And no disrespect to my opponent, that's just confidence in myself. So yeah, it really depends.
You mentioned some of your high school or some of your AAU teammates, but playing with guys like Jacoy and Malik, they also got pretty good hands and pretty good at getting steals too. So I don't know, what were those practices like going against each other? Was anybody able to hold on to the ball at that point?
It's funny you say that. Those are my two best friends. So that just goes to show you, what I'm saying, my circle and what we do. We've been in the gym together since seventh, eighth grade. And I just feel like it prepared us. Practice was tough. You had no slouches. 1 through 5, them 5-on-5 games got real. Even from the bars to forwards to bigs. We had some high names in there, some very good players, and you just had to fend for yourself. You was either going to be scared and get ran over or step up, and they'll tell you who's in there fighting, all types of stuff growing up. But it's for our better, obviously, because we're all succeeding now. We're going to keep going up.
I mean, those are basically like high level Division I practices coming out, and you're doing it at 14, 15 years old. I think that's just, like we talked about, got to be a pretty good leg up for getting to college basketball, because there's really probably no situation here that you haven't seen or a type of player that you haven't gone against at this point.
Yeah, literally, for sure. I agree with that.
I got to imagine that in this era of college basketball, there were opportunities to move or whatever. It means you're pretty happy there despite the record. I think that says a lot about you, but also probably the coaching staff and your teammates and things like that. Talk a little bit about your relationship there with the rest of the Manhattan program and the community there.
Yeah, I'm really comfortable here. A big thing for me, I know I have to be comfortable where I'm at. Wherever I am, I have to be comfortable to really maximize, my full potential. And I thought about it, and really no thought really went into it. Honestly, like I heard here and there, people try to reach out, but I try to stay focused on what we had going on here. And after the loss to Iona, like I was just so hell bent on coming back. They left me off the rookie team last year. Like I feel like I got to show them some more stuff. A lot of things went into it where I wasn't really thinking about other opportunities really. But yeah, the coaching staff, love my staff, really a family feel from the head coach to the Dobo. Just really love from all my coaches, all my circle. My teammates, that's a little tricky because, got a whole new group of guys, but I love the guys that came in. I'm the type of person that's quality over quantity. So, we haven't been here that long, but it's real genuine vibes in the locker room. All good dudes, come from similar backgrounds, same similar areas, East Coast guys. I feel like we relate in a lot of ways, and we're bonding really well. So I'm excited for the year to come.
There's like a thing in college basketball right now that I don't know, analysts like to say is get old and stay old. And you've got a coach that said, basically here are the keys. Here's 35 minutes a game as a freshman. I think that says a lot, that Coach Gallagher has a lot of like faith and trust in you. Is there something in that relationship there, like that you proved to him early on, like, hey, I'm ready for these minutes and that kind of responsibility?
My first goal here was to just earn his trust. I know he probably didn't know me too much. I mean, film and stuff like that is different, but being around somebody every day, seeing their habits, seeing what they really made of in real life is different. So my main goal when I first got here was to gain his trust anyway. So in practice, I'm doing exactly what he say, stuff like that. And I feel like it worked. Me and him have a great relationship. I love Coach Gal, call him about anything, text him about anything. See him as love, tell me he loved me after every conversation, really a family feel here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that makes when you guys turn this thing around, not if, but when, it'll make it that much sweeter if, hey, like we were in this together. You were one of his like, first big additions there to the program. And this is, I don't know, I just think being in on something early is kind of cool rather than showing up somewhere that it's already established. Like you can help say, you can say you help build this thing. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
What have the off-season workouts been like? Have you got a chance to play with most of the new guys yet, or is that's still to come?
Oh yeah, we've been playing pickup stuff like that, and then obviously the summer workouts. But it's been great, getting acclimated with the guys. As a point guard, I try to really pay attention to guys. The little things like how they shoot going right, how they shoot going left, where they like catching it, where they most comfortable, where their spots are. How they can play, can they get out of transition, stuff like that. So that's been a lot of it this summer, me figuring them out to put them in the best position for the year. But we've been doing a great job. I feel like we got a big year coming. I can't say it enough. That's all I can say.
Like I said, I've seen you play going back to high school. I think you're a better perimeter shooter than maybe last year's percentage would kind of indicate there. You have decent free throw percentage, but we're sub 30% from three. Is that just getting different looks? Is that being more comfortable, being in more rhythm? I guess how is that repping it out? I guess how do you improve on that percentage for this year?
Oh yeah, I don't even look at that. I know I shoot way better than what I shot last year. A lot of things went into that, freshman moments, overthinking the game. But I feel like mentally I'm in a different spot in the game where I don't have to worry about what I shot last year. I know the work I've been putting in over the summer, over the off season is going to show, and just my mental. That's not even who I was. Even in high school, I shot better than that. But I also know, a lot of I think I started like 0 for 17 on the year from three.
Yeah,
like,
that kills the percentage for the year at that point.
Little things like that. But I feel like I started to find my groove towards the end of the year, maybe mid-year, and those numbers will tell a different story. But that's in the past. Hopefully everybody, live by them numbers because they're gonna go up. I already know.
That's right. Make them pay for sagging off if they're dumb enough to do it. Sure. That's a great answer. That's a really mature answer too. So I love that you said that, and can't do anything about last year's percentage anyway. So just go out and show them what kind of shooter you are this season. Anything else specific you've been working on for this year, like another element to your game that you want to add?
Yeah, I'm getting to my spots. Of course, my coaches have been working with me, breaking down film where I can be more aggressive for myself. And I understand that only opens up for my teammates. So that for sure, the mid-range game, of course, just honing in on some of, what I thought were strengths. I feel like I have a strong floater game coming into college, finishing game, of course, where I didn't do as well as I know I can, and I know I should as a point guard, as a player. So really all around, I don't try to really get too caught up in working at one particular aspect of the game because there's so many things in the game that goes on. Like I shoot all summer. What if they take away from me in the game? I still got to get to the rim. I still get to my pull up, my floater, get my teammates involved. Really, so I just really work on the basics every day. I didn't change up because of anything from last year. Just sticking to what I know, the grind.
I think just being able to make those adjustments and do the things you're talking about, and having multiple options and multiple ways to attack a defense is great. Anything the coaching staff has talked to you about in terms of like how your role on court will be different this year? Anything they're expecting? Is it more scoring, more facilitating, any of those kind of things?
No, nothing really different. Of course, stepping into maybe a bigger, kind of the same, but like maybe more of a bigger role. I understand that might be at the top people's scouting reports, however they want to call it. But No, the same. You know what I'm saying? Same game plan. We're gonna play. They have trust in me. I have trust in their game plan, and they know that whatever they draw, I'm gonna try my hardest to execute. And this year, the outcome gonna be different, of course. But yeah, I say, similar roles.
Talked a lot about what you can do for next season, but you guys as a team, like what's the biggest thing you think this year's group needs to do to be able to be successful?
The biggest thing we have to do is I feel like defend. You know what I'm saying? Defend. That's everything goes with defense. I feel like we have the guys, the personnel to defend. Quickness, length, size, speed in all positions. So I feel like we first have to start on the defensive end and let offense come to us. So we're all cool, getting acclimated, but the offense going to come. So we're all putting in the work. We're all in the gym every day. That's one big thing I would say about this team. We're all in the gym. So it's going to come to us, but if we start on the defensive end and really lock in and take everything personal, I mean, you can't lose that way.
I love that. Did I see this right? That Devin Dinkins joined the team for the season?
Yeah, Devin Dinkins. Yeah, my guy from DMV.
That's what I was just going to ask. So saw him here at George Mason a little bit here last year. I'm assuming you guys go way back, just being from the area and stuff like that. Were you giving him the recruiting pitch here at all, trying to bring him up north?
I remember when Coach, they asked me about him, and probably I didn't really know him too well. Like, what I'm saying, we came from the same place. I know we cool people, mutual friends, but me and him weren't the coolest. But I was always cool with it. I like his game. I remember from high school, he went to Gonzaga. You know how we feel about that. It was always love. It was our first conversation. We talked right away about real stuff right away. It wasn't no fabricating. We talked about the real, people probably look at it like both undersized guards or who going to be on the ball, but we cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he came here. We're getting closer over the summer. Great person, great dude, and y'all gonna see what we do on the court.
I love that. I mean, at least this is a guy what he's about coming in because you've seen that, and whether you guys go like super way back personally, at least there's a foundation there. Came from the same place, know the same kind of style of play, played against the same people. So
yeah,
he's about it at least, which is great.
Yeah, for sure. He was in the same gyms, what I'm saying, I was in growing up, same trainers, I'm sure, same environment. So yeah, for sure. That's gonna be cool. Just that aspect of it as well.
Very cool. I think that's the majority of stuff I got for you here. I got a couple rapid fire questions just to close it out on some lighter end of things. Anything that's you can share with listeners here that they might not know about you kind of off the court, whether it's a guilty pleasure TV show or music or a hidden talent or a sport you like to play, any of that kind of stuff?
Nah, I'm really a chill dude. My bad. A chill dude. Big family person. I got a little brother back home, who was 8 years younger than me. Okay. So he's growing up back home. So I try to keep in touch with him, daily. My family, back home, big family person. But, I'm saying an open book. I don't really do too much. I play the game. I chill. I do regular kid things, chill with my friends. Nothing crazy, though.
That's cool. I guess what do you do for fun off the court, though? You got to de-stress basketball. There's a good amount of, intense action there. Any video games or any of that kind of stuff that you do to unwind a little bit?
I'm not a big video gamer, but I play college football, Warzone, regular games. I'm not a big gamer, but in my free time, I like to just chill with my friends. We're always working hard. All my friends, play basketball, football, whatever you want to call it. Doing something, even if it's not sports. So I feel like I just like to, distress, calm down with them, catch it up with them. Be a normal kid. We might go out here and there, not go out nothing crazy, but just do whatever we do. And not crazy.
That's good. You got to get out of the gym every once in a while here and just decompress. So that's
got to be a balance.
Exactly. The whole point of this podcast is to tell cool DMV stories and just connect with other people from the area. Any one particular story about playing basketball in this area growing up that comes to mind, just whether it was a crazy team or matchup or guys you played with in a gym, any of that sort of stuff?
I say my sophomore year, DeMatha team kind of opened my eyes. We had a mob for real. That was a mob. I didn't play at all. I never got in the game. It was a COVID year, of course, but I didn't touch the court not once. And that just goes to show the competition. I didn't run from it. I didn't really get deterred. I understand what's going on, but say you got wait your turn for real. And I never let that strip my confidence. I always knew who I was. I might have got low at times, but I think my support system, my circle, for keeping that confidence in me. and not letting it break me down. But yeah, that team had guys: Elijah Hawkins, Tyrell Ward, Earl Timberlake, if I'm not mistaken, Jordan Hawkins, Jacoby Hutchins was on that team. If I forget anybody, my bad. Will Reynolds. We had Jason Moore plays football now. Yeah, we had some guys on that team for sure. Rodney Rice was on that team. I'm tripping here. Rodney was on that team. Big Jarrell.
Okay.
We had some guys on that team.
We've had Earl on the podcast here before, and I'm trying to get Elijah and Rodney as we speak. So we'll try to fill out the rest of that DeMatha group. But that's a stacked. I mean, those are really all high level, college basketball players at the Power 5 level, and then you've got obviously guys like Jordan who are in the NBA now, and I think he's gonna have a great career. So that's tough. I think that's probably a little easier mentally to reconcile. Like, okay, I may not be playing a ton of minutes, but it's not like I'm sitting behind some scrubs here. Like all those guys were a little older, and I would assume that's at least kind of like what you have to tell yourself at that point. Like, I'll get my turn.
Yeah, for sure. I was waiting my turn.
Which DMV guy should we talk to next on the podcast here? Any suggestions? And by the way, both Jacoy and Thomas Batiste mentioned you. So you got to give us another really good recommendation here because they killed it. You've been great to have on. So anybody else you can think of that would be good next?
DMV guy, I say my boy Jeremiah Quigley over at George Mason. You know what I'm saying?
On my list too.
Keep the takeover thing going. We all play in the same team. That'd be cool. Any guy, you know what I'm saying? Malik Mack, of course, he played in that team as well. I feel like both of them dudes are two good candidates.
Okay, got it. Any social media accounts that people can follow if they want to keep tabs on you guys and how your season is going in particular?
I'm Jaden Winston 1 on Instagram, JAEE Winston 1 on Instagram and Twitter. That's all I really use social media. I don't have nothing else for real. And then that's all you can see me on. That's cool.
Awesome. This has been great, Jaden. Thank you for doing this. I love the defense first guys, like I said, because I can never play any myself. So it's been cool to watch you play, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys turn it around here this year.
No, thank you. Appreciate you having me. Appreciate the best wishes, and thank you.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. Hit that like button for us if you're watching on YouTube. Rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're presented by BetOnline.ag.